deserve.
Erdogan saying he believes Saudi King Salman did not order the hit, leaving unsaid the implication that Salman's son, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, did. Peter?
A caravan of marching migrants headed from Central America to the U.S. is now over the 7,000-person mark. The heat is taking its toll. CBS News correspondent Adriana Diaz is in southern Mexico.
The dehydration is what is threatening every single person walking through here. We were told by organizers that children have been vomiting, that some children have fainted. So these are tough conditions.
2 weeks ahead of the midterms, President Trump was campaigning for the man he once called Lion Ted last night in Houston. Texas Senator Ted Cruz is fighting for his political life. Mr. Trump used the rally to paint an even bigger picture.
If you want high-paying jobs, rising wages, and a booming economy, then go out and vote Republican.
An overnight lockdown is over, and University of Utah police say they found the man who shot and killed a student, Lieutenant Brian Wallin.
After making entry into the church and clearing the building, they found our suspect deceased in a room.
Wallin says the couple had a previous relationship. Hurricane Willa is bearing down on central Mexico with top winds clocked at 145 miles per hour. Landfall is expected at mid-afternoon local time. The Mega Millions lottery is up to more than $1.6 billion. And really, who doesn't want a piece of that? CBS's Wendy Gillette.
Lottery machines around the country are pumping out tickets in advance of tonight's drawing for a mega jackpot. Massachusetts resident Therese Gray says she's the lucky one.
Here I am, folks. Take your last look at me, because me and this store, we're the ones who are going to get the money here. And you're looking at the next billionaire, okay?
Okay, but your odds of winning are beyond small. 1 in 302.5 million.
On Wall Street, S&P futures down 33 points. This is CBS News.
You have enough things to worry about every day. Insurance shouldn't be one of them. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
6 months ago, I moved here to become a cop.
ABC Tonight.
Officer Bishop, you get to ride with the 40-year-old rookie.
Show me what you got.
The Rookie is being called one of fall's best new shows.
Police, open up. I'm going in.
Totally original.
I gotta work twice as fast, 3 times as hard.
A surefire hit.
Everything you hit requires a separate accident report.
I know.
So maybe hit fewer things.
Ethan Fillion is the Rookie. All new. Tonight, 10/9 Central on ABC.
Pay off credit card debt with a personal loan from Marcus by Goldman Sachs. When you have a family, life adds up. A new semester of school, a new season on the team, and new goalie pads to go with it. Now your youngest wants to learn an instrument. And of course, she didn't pick the harmonica. Debt happens. It's how you get out that counts. Get a personal loan from Marcus by Goldman Sachs. Fixed interest rates and no fees, ever. Learn more at marcus.com.
Millions of Americans may have to think twice before going to the bathroom. CBS's Jim Shenevy explains.
It's the latest recall to come down the pipe. The Consumer Product Safety Commission has announced the recall of some 1.4 million toilets because they could explode. The offending commodes are equipped with the FlushBait flushing system, which uses pressurized water to assist the flushing operation. Only the system can backfire, literally, and release enough stored pressure into the tank to shatter the tank lid. Consumers are urged to put a lid on the future use of those toilets. Jim Shenevy, CBS News.
Well, football is supposed to be a fun sport, not a blood sport. And in Jacksonville, Florida, the sheriff says he'll have some 600 law enforcement officers around the Jaguars Stadium for Saturday's Florida-Georgia college football game. That's because 6 people were shot outside the Jaguars game this past Sunday. So far, no arrests. Peter King, CBS News.
Here's a special message for those of you who owe the IRS at least $10,000 or more in back taxes. The IRS has special programs in place that could eliminate or reduce your tax debt by thousands of dollars. With a call to National Tax Helpline, you can stop the wage garnishments, levies, and tax liens now. Once you've qualified and enrolled, the IRS will stop all the collection activities against you. These unique programs have been allocated to help the economy and significantly reduce or eliminate your tax burden. The IRS is currently accepting accepting reduced settlements and other favorable programs. You may qualify for substantial savings, so get the help you need. If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more, call now for free information and to see if you qualify. Take down the number now for the Tax Helpline, 800-805-1055. That's 800-805-1055 for free information. 800-805-1055. That's 800-805-1055.
Now at Wendy's, any size fry, just $1. Any fry, $1 at Wendy's.
Have you considered what your retirement looks like? Here are some things about retirement that may surprise you. 64% of retirees say they are confident about having enough money to live comfortably throughout their retirement years. Yet according to the Economic Policy Institute, nearly half of families have no retirement account savings at all. In 2017, more than 67% of retirees depended on Social Security as a major source of their income. The average monthly Social Security benefit at the beginning of 2018 was $1,404. Due to health care costs associated with living longer, 26% of workers now intend to keep working until age 70 and beyond, and 10% don't intend to retire at all. The 65 and older group is expected to become larger and have more influence in the future. Have you made arrangements for health care? Are you comfortable with your investment decisions? If you are unsure about your decisions, give the Fouch Wealth Advisory Group, Sam Dickinson or Brian Basinger a call at 270-651-2663. Investment counseling since 1854. Securities offered by JJB Hillier W. Alliance LLC, member NYSE, SIPC, and FINRA. Investing in securities involves risks.
Steve and Kate are a typical couple with a common marital concern.
His snoring was awful and it kept me awake. I tried everything, turning him, waking him, nose strips, and even earplugs for me. Nothing worked. It was making me crazy.
Then Kate heard that snoring may be a sign of sleep apnea, a serious disorder in which breathing actually stops during sleep. Untreated, it can lead to high blood pressure, stroke, or heart failure.
I went from annoyed to afraid. His life could be at risk.
Kate sought help from the Sleep Disorders Center at T.J. Sampson Community Hospital. The Sleep Disorders Center has been diagnosing and treating sleep disorders for the people of South Central Kentucky since 2004. It turns out that Steve did in fact have sleep apnea.
But he's fine now. No more snoring.
And there was an added benefit for Kate.
He was the one with the disorder, but I'm now sleeping better too.
The Sleep Disorder Center at T.J. Sampson Community Hospital. For more information, please visit tjsamson.org.
Good morning, everybody. It's Good Morning Live here on WCLU. Aaron, how are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you, Wes?
I'm good. I'll be doing better once I can see that pretty title that you put up about yourself.
Yeah, just a second.
But, hey, it is October the 23rd, and it's 41 degrees. Really doesn't feel too bad out there, does it, Aaron?
Not bad at all.
Did you have to defrost your windshield much this morning?
Did not. I was very surprised by it.
So, hey, that just goes to show you maybe an extra 10 minutes of sleep for a few folks out there today.
Just a few.
But if you're listening right now, then what does that matter, right?
Yeah, just sit on the couch for a few more
minutes. If you're listening right now, then here's what you need to know. We have some people to wish birthdays to.
Yes, we do.
Who you got on the list for us today?
Start us off on our Tuesday, October 23rd birthdays. We have Jason Pettigo, Carla Wilson, Kim Shields, Pam Hodges-Browning. Mr. Austin Parker is turning 12 today. Joe Myers is celebrating a birthday. Follis Crow as well. Jennifer Haynes. Lily Armstrong is turning 6. Amy Harlow is 46. Sharon Salings. Karen Elmore is 59. Kevin Wood. Karen Johnson. Stacy Johnson. Ashley Houchins-Burke. John Westerfield. Helen Burks, and last but certainly not least is Belinda Coulter.
Anybody celebrating a birthday today?
That was the birthdays.
Okay.
And no anniversaries currently.
Anniversaries?
And then our person of the day today is Faith Curry. Birthday was earlier this month, and now she is finally getting to be good as gold here on the 23rd.
All right. Well, if you see Faith Curry around town, pat her on the back and tell her she's good as gold from her friends at WCLU and a little taste of Texas. Aaron, I think you're going to enjoy today's show. Our guest host is Bruce TRABUE.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite people. You know Bruce.
Oh, yes, I do.
You've been around long enough to know the importance of Bruce and what he brings to the table. And with you being a sports guy, broadcast guy, you can certainly appreciate what he does.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's going to be a fun show today. Hopefully Joe Myers will tune in and sit back and enjoy that. You're one of his comrades for his birthday.
Yeah.
So, Having said that, before we go any further, nationally, weather's a big topic. Maybe not so much right here, at least not for a few days. Let's check and see what Ray Stajic has to say from the Weather Channel.
One batch of rain passing well south of us like Gulf Coast south, but not the second batch. And that second batch could have connections to a tropical system, Willa. It's in the East Pack, so things are going to hook up, and we're going to be on the northern fringes of the rainfall, but I think by week's end at least some rain. No rain today. A mid and high level overcast around, filtering clear sky. Some of us already clear. We'll go through the day with, I think, more and more sunshine. We're going to be right on the edge to where we see the high clouds, 69 degrees. Tonight, mainly clear, and maybe a few ticks colder down near 36. So there'll be some patchy frost tomorrow morning. We'll go through Wednesday with sunshine, some afternoon clouds, cooler, 61. And then on Thursday, we cloud over, highs only in the upper 50s, getting set up for a little bit of rain on Friday as that low develops along the coast and heads north-northeast. Highs on Friday with rain in the mid-50s, but we should dry out for at least a part of the weekend. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from a Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
All right, Ray, let's take a look at the constant coverage in-studio radar. As you can see there, not a whole lot to look at, but Aaron, could you zoom out a couple notches there? And let's just see what's going on around us, because I think it's worth noting what's going on, directly around us on our part of the country. And that thing could be giving us fits this morning. It's probably not. The radar screen's not had its morning coffee yet, so we'll take a look at that with Bruce whenever he gets back. But well, go ahead and zoom out there, Aaron, if you would. Let's see here. So as you see, the eastern coast pretty clear, but Ray's talking about some storm activity there on the Gulf Coast, and that's what I want to look at. Mainly, as he said, it's blowing south of us. Not to say that some remnants of that couldn't make its way up to us. And certainly pray for the folks down there having to go through that mess again. That's just very unfortunate. Looking at the current conditions this morning, we are at 97% humidity. The barometer reads 30.21. Winds are calm and still no precipitation in the last 24 hours here in South Central Kentucky. Again, right now it is 41 degrees. Coming up next, it's the live and local news you depend on, brought to you by Hilliard Lyons, TJ Sampson Hospital, the Glasgow Electric Plant Board, Jackson Health and Wellness Clinic, and Extreme Prosthetics. We'll be back with a check of local news after this on WCLU.
Extreme Prosthetics understands that when it comes to comfort and function, not all prosthetic devices are made the same. A properly fitted prosthesis can allow you to walk naturally without daily pain and discomfort. Extreme Prosthetics works with your physician and insurance company to help you get the comfort and function you deserve. Don't let your current discomfort and lack of mobility discourage you. Call the experts at Extreme Prosthetics today for a better, more comfortable life.
Why the name Fire Pit Spirits? Because your beverage of choice is meant to be enjoyed with good friends, celebrating life, happiness, or just the end of a hard week of work. And, as always, it's meant to be consumed responsibly. So, whatever you're celebrating, gather around your fire pit, because good times are made with the ones you choose to keep in your circle. Fire Pit Spirits. Best selection, best service, best friends.
Prior to 2002, there were nearly 100 real property appeals per year in Barron County. I'm Brad Bailey, Barron County PVA. Since 2002, we have averaged less than one appeal per year while meeting all the requirements of the Department of Revenue. That's increased customer satisfaction that the people of Barron County deserve. Join me on November 6th. Allow me to continue to bring you the customer service and efficiency you deserve. Please vote Brad Bailey, the People's PVA.
Paid for by the campaign to re-elect Brad Bailey, Barron County PVA.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good. He'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
Who will be the future face of Pettigo Lessenberry? Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley.
And I'm Daniel Bird.
And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pettigo Lesenberry Insurance.
Growing with a proud community since 1902.
Lesson.
WCLU News Time, 6:15, 41 degrees. For WCLU Local News, I'm Wes Royce reporting. The Glasgow Master Plan for the City of Glasgow was the main topic, both in and out of open session at last night's regular Glasgow City Council meeting. The city approved plans to begin the feasibility and design for reconstructing the property at American Legion Park and the Glasgow City Pool. The new facility would include a lazy river, slides, and more of a modern and appealing look that is forecast to at least triple the amount of use at the municipal facility. The area is targeted as the #1 priority of the city's master plan. Another issue to be addressed by the master plan is the lack of parks near the downtown area. After a closed session, the city approved for Mayor Dick Doty to enter into contracts to acquire over 4 acres beside Dollar General on West Main Street, moving west adjacent to the post office and continuing north to Front Street and back east near the water company's property that adjoins the BB&T property. These 4 parcels will be used for a splash park, according to Doty. And we have a quote from Mayor Doty there.
It was identified in the master plan that the downtown area was underserved with park space, so this fits right into that master plan. And then part 2 of that is that their recommendation for downtown park space was green space, walking trails, benches, that kind of thing, and a splash pad, not a water park, but simply that water that squirts up out of the ground, which is really a neat thing because that has a longer season than a swimming pool or aquatic center.
The City of Glasgow will celebrate Halloween on October 31st. Some road closures will take place from 4:30 to 7:30 on that evening. South Green Street will be one way from Houch and Southgate Plaza to College Street with the right lane closed. Bunch Avenue will be closed from Broadway to South Green. Leslie Avenue will be closed from Cleveland Avenue to South Green Street, and Cleveland Avenue will be closed from Leslie Avenue up to Willow Street. The Glasgow Police Department will be patrolling on foot and in vehicles. No stopping will be allowed for drop-off. You must park and walk. On Sunday, the Glasgow Police Department arrested Tyrus L. Mitchell, age 21 of Cave City, on charges of theft by unlawful taking, failure to maintain insurance, fleeing or evading police first degree in a motor vehicle, wanton endangerment first degree of a police officer, wanton endangerment first degree, and reckless driving. According to the police citation, Officer Wright with the Glasgow Police Department was dispatched to at least 2 subjects who had stolen 3 cases of beer from the Circle K food store on Columbia Avenue driving a silver Dodge Durango. When attempting to stop the vehicle, it sped off at a high rate of speed, turning onto Park Avenue, McGraw, Humble Avenue, then East Main, and then crashed into a guardrail. Mitchell and a passenger in the vehicle, Thomas Dilly, age 28 of Glasgow, were taken into custody and transported to the hospital for treatment and later released and lodged in the Barron County Jail. Assisting Officer Wright was Officer Morrison, who later charged Dilly with theft by unlawful taking. 3 cases of Bud Light were seized, and according to the citation, the vehicle reached speeds of 80 miles an hour on city streets. Therese Lee Dokes, age 22 of Glasgow, and Cortez Dokes, age 21 of Glasgow, were both arrested on Saturday in response to a complaint that individuals were sitting outside smoking marijuana. Officers Dewberry and Bergen approached the group of individuals and confirmed the smell of marijuana. Officer Bergen patted down Therese Dokes and found a gun and 2 detached magazines and Xanax in the front door of his vehicle. As Therese Dokes was being handcuffed by Officer Dewberry, Cortez Dokes began to fight Officer Bergen. After being detained, a Xanax was found in his pocket as well. Therese Dokes was charged with carrying a concealed deadly weapon, possession of a marijuana, and possession of a controlled substance 3rd degree. Cortez Dokes was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct 2nd degree, menacing, and possession of a controlled substance 3rd degree. Both were lodged in the Barron County Jail. More local news when we continue here on WCLU. Right now 6:19 and 41 degrees in downtown Glasgow.
Do It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lesenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lesenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local, family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Hi, I'm Fred Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parrish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50-plus years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parish Carpet.
And in more local news in this hour, some exciting news tonight from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Jackie Browning Park. The Barron County Parks and Recreation Department, along with the Fiscal Court Department's trunk or treat, is the Spooky Fest. On field number 1, they'll be showing the film Hocus Pocus and Casper's Kickball on field number 3 for both kids and adults. They'll also have wiffle ball, vampire volleyball, and a park spook ride, as well as a hay ride. That is free hot dogs as well that will be given away while supplies last. Again, tonight, Spooky Fest at Jackie Browning Park from 6 to 9 p.m. Traffic advisories on I-65 near Elizabethtown tonight and tomorrow night. There will be a closure of the southbound inside lane at mile marker 91 for paving work, reducing the southbound lane to just one lane. Each night, the closure will begin at 7 p.m. and will end at 7 a.m. the next morning. Also tonight, the on-ramp for US 62 at I-65 will be milled under traffic, and flaggers will be present to direct traffic around milling operations. That will start at 8 p.m. tonight and be finished by 6 a.m. in the morning. Also tomorrow night, the on-ramp for US 62 to I-65 South will be paved under traffic. Flaggers will be present there. And also Thursday night, the southbound 65 off-ramp to US 62 will be closed for paving operations. Work will start at 8 p.m. and will complete at 6 a.m. the next morning. Edmonton-Metcalfe County Chamber of Commerce will conduct a ribbon-cutting ceremony for a Bowling Community Parks food pantry, which will be located at 1608 West Stockton Street in Edmonton. That will take place on Friday, October the 26th at 10 a.m. The Bowling Park food pantry will serve over 500 families a month. Park Director Lisa Boswell invites everyone to attend and tour the new facility. According to Sheriff Boston Hensley in Hart County, during the week of October 15th, the following warrants were served by the Hart County Sheriff's Office. Michael A. Reynolds, age 33, of Bonnieville, was arrested on Hart County indictment warrant and was charged with theft by unlawful taking $500 or more but less than $10,000 and persistent felony offender. Reynolds was lodged in the Hart County Jail. Also, Jeffrey O. Clancy, age 37, of Louisville, was arrested on a Jefferson County Circuit Bench warrant for trafficking in marijuana less than 8 ounces, first offense, receiving stolen property of a firearm, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of a controlled substance, first degree, first offense, cocaine, and probation violation for felony offense. Also, Clancy was served a Jefferson County Circuit Bench warrant for probation violation for a felony offense. He was lodged in the Hart County Jail in lieu of a $10,000 cash bond. For WCLU Local News, I'm Wes Royce reporting. Now we'll have a look at news from around the Commonwealth. It's the Kentucky News Network. A check of area funeral announcements after that. Stay tuned here on Good Morning Live.
From the Kentucky News Network, I'm Jerry Bloom. A Texas man's trip to Kentucky ends with an arrest.
Kentucky State Police, along with the Attorney General's Cyber Crimes Unit, arrested 65-year-old Gregory Lee Ruby of Brazoria, Texas, after he got off a flight at the Lexington Bluegrass Airport. Investigators say he made the 900-mile trip because he believed he was meeting up with 2 children under the age of 12 for sex. Ruby now being charged with 4 counts of unlawful use of electronic means originating or received within the Commonwealth of Kentucky to induce a minor to engage in sexual or other prohibited activities, all Class D felonies. He's being held in the Fayette County Jail on $100,000 bond. I'm Will Clark.
A new study shows Tornado Alley is on the move, and with an increase in tornadic activities heading eastward, impacting areas more vulnerable and unprepared, including Kentucky. According to the journal Climate and Atmospheric Science, tornadoes have been decreasing over the past few decades in typical places such as Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas, but increasing in Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, and Tennessee.
It could just be the plains have been quieting down and other areas of the east are heating up, and this is sort of a natural cyclical cycle that will then, transition back to the plains someday.
The biggest increase in tornadic activity is in the states along the Mississippi River. A listening tour by the Bishop of the Archdiocese of Owensboro will continue tomorrow night. The tour by Bishop William Medley is intended to talk about sexual misconduct within the Catholic Church. Tomorrow's discussion will be held at Our Lady of Lourdes Parish in Owensboro at 6:30. I'm Jerry Bloom.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Hi, I'm Helena Chase Birdwell. I was raised right here in Barron County, and generations of my roots grow deep here. I have spent my career serving people in local, state, and federal government offices, and I want to continue that by serving you, the people of Barron County, as your next Barron County clerk. If elected, I will bring fresh ideas to the office while continuing the excellent work the office already does. On November 6th, I need your support. Vote Helena Chase Birdwell for Barron County Clerk.
Why the name Fire Pit Spirits? Because your beverage of choice is meant to be enjoyed with good friends, celebrating life, happiness, or just the end of a hard week of work. And, as always, it's meant to be consumed responsibly. So, whatever you're celebrating, gather around your fire pit, because good times are made with the ones you choose to keep in your circle. Fire Pit Spirits. Best selection, best service, best friends.
Glasgow.
Kentucky Monuments has the ability to offer you exactly what you want or help steer you in the right direction based on your preferences. Let my friends David, Jerry, and Adam Jesse provide the service and craftsmanship you deserve. To learn more, visit SouthCentralKYMonuments.com.
In area funeral announcements of this hour, Carl Allen Madsen, age 50, of Glasgow, died Sunday at T.J. Sampson Community Hospital. He was son of the late Leslie Madsen and Patricia Sidebottom Madsen of Campbellsville, who survives. Mr. Madsen was an employee of Akibono in Glasgow. In addition to his mother, he is survived by Tammy Madsen of Glasgow, a daughter, Kayla Madsen, a close friend, Carlos Torres, both of Glasgow, and son Nick Swain and wife Lauren of Glasgow. 3 grandchildren, 2 brothers, and a sister. Mr. Madsen chose cremation, and a memorial service will be scheduled at a later date. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Billy Joe Caudell, age 88, of Horse Cave, passed away Sunday at T.J. Sampson Community Hospital. He was a native of the Seymour community and a member of Park United Methodist Church. He was a lifelong dairy and tobacco farmer and served as Hart County Magistrate for 12 years. He is survived by his wife of 69 years, Margaret Bell Caudell. 2 sons, Tommy Caudell and David Caudell, all of Glasgow. 6 grandchildren, Jeff Caudell, Chris Caudell, Brian Caudell, Brooke Bird, Chloe Caudell, and Leah Caudell. 6 great-grandchildren, Shelby, Zachary, Jackson, Zeta, Bennett, and Gamble, and a niece, Gina Shehorn of Kansas. Funeral services for Billy Joe Caudell will be at 10 a.m. on Thursday at the Wynn Funeral Home, with burial to follow in the Horse Cave Municipal Cemetery. Visitation will be from 2 until 8 p.m. Wednesday and from 8 a.m. until the time of service on Thursday. Jatana Lindsay, age 91, of Sweden, died Sunday at the Medical Center in Bowling Green. Jatana was a homemaker and also an aide at the Early Learning Center and Edmondson County Senior Center. She was a member of the Sweden Missionary Baptist Church and the Green River Chapter number 577 Order of the Eastern Star. She leaves to honor her memory 2 grandsons, Kevin Raymer of Cleveland and Ken Raymer of Sweden, 2 granddaughters, Laura Cunningham of Cleveland and Leanne Pierce of Bee Spring, 9 great-grandchildren, Logan, Carly, Ben, Blake, and Bryce Raymer, Lily and Evan Cunningham, Kylan and Colin Pierce, 2 great-grandchildren, Emerson and Landry Raymer, and a son-in-law, James Raymer, daughter-in-law, Carol Lindsay, and brother, Dale. Funeral services for Jatana Lindsay will be held at 2 p.m. Wednesday at the Patton Funeral Home, Brownsville Chapel, with interment to be in the Sweden Church Cemetery. Visitation will begin at 5 p.m. tonight. Funeral services for Donnie Jaggers, age 74, of Munfordville, will be at 1 p.m. Wednesday at the Brooks Funeral Home, with interment in the Magnolia Cemetery with military honors. Visitation will be from 4 until 8 p.m. today and from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. Wednesday. Memorial donations can be made to the Magnolia Fire Department, the Linwood Fire Department, or the Buffalo Fire Department. Funeral services for Corporal Barry Douglas Doug Forrest, age 60, will be held at the Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home Wednesday at 1 p.m., immediately followed by burial with military honors at the Happy Valley Memorial Gardens. Visitation will be after 10 a.m. today and 7 a.m. Wednesday until time of service. Following the burial, there will be a celebration of life gathering at the Park Mammoth Resort. Funeral services for Robert Stanley Cheney, age 75, of Franklin, will be held at 1 p.m. today at the Hardy & Son Funeral Home, Bowling Green Chapel, with burial in the Campbellsville Cemetery. Donations may be made to the Gideons International. Funeral services for Johnny Elmore, 74 of Mammoth Cave, will be at 11 a.m. today at the Cove Hollow United Baptist Church, with burial to follow in the church cemetery. Grayville Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Obituary information is available 24 hours a day online at WCLUradio.com. No login is necessary.
Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good. He'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next, because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
Who will be the future face of Pettigo Lessenberry? Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley.
And I'm Daniel Bird.
And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Growing with a proud community since 1902.
TJ Sampson, providing TLC, Total Local Care, 24/7. My husband and I were both admitted to TJ Sampson. They were so good to us, and we will always go back to TJ, your local health care provider. Total Local Care, 24/7.
Who is Helena Chase Birdwell? She's a daughter, a wife, a mother, and a friend. She's a hardworking servant and experienced leader. She's known for her kindness, vision, and professionalism. Helena is humble, approachable to all, and a good listener. Her successful career in public service is a testament to her confidence and resilience. This November, vote for the candidate who will strive to serve Barron County with her sincere heart. Vote Helena Chase Birdwell to be your next Barron County clerk.
All right, and we are back here on Good Morning Live. It's time to check local weather forecast once again. We have a weather forecast this hour, which is brought to you by the People's Bank in downtown Glasgow. We'll hear from that and Ray Stajic right after this.
Can you believe it's almost Christmas again? It seems to come sooner and sooner every year. Don't let Santa be caught empty-handed. Start a Christmas Club account at the People's Bank. Start your new Christmas Club account this month. Make deposits anytime, any amount until October 2019. Your account pays out in October, and you are ready for holiday shopping. You will even earn interest. Stop by our office today to start saving for the holidays, and let us relieve some of that holiday stress. The People's Bank, working for you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Mid and high level overcast around, filtering clear sky. Some of us already clear. We'll go through the day with, I think, more and more sunshine. We're going to be right on the edge of where we see the high clouds, 69 degrees. Tonight, mainly clear, and maybe a few ticks colder down near 36. We'll go through Wednesday with sunshine, some afternoon clouds, 61. And then on Thursday, we cloud over, highs only in the upper 50s, getting set up for a little bit of rain on Friday as that low develops along the coast and heads north-northeast. Highs on Friday with rain in the mid-50s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from a Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. Let's look at the radar screen, not necessarily in our area, but as we look down there at the Gulf of Mexico, as we see quite a bit of rain, kind of a tropical storm looking thing there that's going to work its way east and north. But as Ray Stajic said, that stuff's going south of us right now, so that's what we have to look at. But we want to think about the folks down south there who are getting another bad batch of weather, it appears to be. Now, let's take a look at the current conditions. Bruce?
Well, thank you, Wes. The humidity is 97%. The winds are calm. The barometric pressure is 30.21, and we've had no precipitation in the last 24 hours.
That is Bruce TRABUE, ladies and gentlemen, my guest host this morning here on Good Morning Live. And Bruce is just a part of the family, the La Familia, as you say. We had Gail Berry in here the other day, and you're right there on the same level. Just a pleasure to have you here this morning, Bruce.
Well, thank you, Wes. I'm glad to be here. This is probably the first time I've been on live, radio here in the station. I believe we did a commercial for you once with Eddie Bruner. We did a commercial.
Bill Folds, yes, I remember that.
Coach Bill Folds, and of course I've done sports and since 1991, and it's a hobby for me. I've never cared a lot about. My dad ruined me as a fisherman and a hunter. he used to take me as a kid, and I think I finally got burned out.
Yeah.
And this is my hobby. I really enjoy doing this, and you know, a lot of people don't realize this. I've said this before. They don't realize what a gym we have here in WCLU and what Henry provides for this community. By doing sports, we go all over the state. A lot of communities don't have this. They don't have, you know, where they're covering high school athletes, and that's one of the reasons I enjoy it is helping these athletes or these students, you know, get recognition. But the service that y'all do for this community, and it's you just don't see it everywhere, and I've been very blessed to be in a small community and raised around a community where people take interest in the youth and their community.
Well, we live in a world today where we have basically access to the entire world at the palm of our fingers, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But we here at WCLU, we think it's just as important to know what's going on next door.
Well, it is.
That's been our motto. That's been what we're all about, and we don't plan on changing, Bruce.
Well, I'm glad because I enjoy it. I watch and listen and of course the things that's offered and that kind of deal. A lot of places they'll do football. They might do basketball. There's a lot of radio stations won't cover girls basketball. They'll just do boys basketball, and that's not right.
Right.
And of course, you know, Jim came here and we started doing little league and middle school. You know, trying to cover all the gamut and stuff like that. And it has. It's been and I know those young people really enjoy it.
Oh yeah, but that started, of course. That started when I was playing with the little league stuff, and you guys and I sit back with people I went to school with. They still remember it. That's a memory that's going to stick with them. That you know, Jim Moody and Bruce TRABUE, you know, interviewing and you've worked with a lot of people who are missed and a lot of people who are very well respected. You, of course, you coached my dad and my uncle in Little League, and then you worked with my grandfather on the air, Mr. Hank Royce. And then, of course, you worked with Jim Moody when Jim came to Glasgow. He took it to another level, I think, and then Joe Myers for the last several years.
You know, and been blessed to work with those guys. You know, they're totally different guys the way they do things. Jim Moody was the kind of guy that I wondered about him at times. He just kept things in his head. I mean, he could scribble stuff down. You couldn't read what it was.
But he knew what he was going to do.
He exactly knew what he was going to do. Joe, you can tell, Joe spends a lot of time. Joe has a full-time job, you know, but we on Friday night or a basketball night or something, he's got a thing where he's worked, he's talked to coaches and players, and he's researched and a whole sheet of stuff of information and
a lot of preparation.
He does. He puts a lot of preparation into it. And sometimes I wondered about Jim. I was telling you before we went on, you know, of course, Jim was one of these people that he never liked to eat before a game, you know, and that kind of deal. And of course, Randall, and I get a little more emotional now because I think of my age, you know, we lost Randall and Jim both, you know, when they were young in life.
Way too soon.
And way too soon, and about a year apart. You know, Randall passed away in December of 2001, and then Jim there in August of 2002 on his birthday, and I just 40-year-old young man, and it's tough.
Yes, it is tough. I think though the thing is that has to cross your mind, maybe even just for 4 or 5 seconds. That's got to cross your mind before you start every game. Is that, you know, attention to detail, attention to the specifics, and giving your all for a high school sporting event and coverage and providing the best local coverage you can do. You know, that's something Jim did well. That's something Jim just absolutely. He moved here, wasn't from here. He came with us from Paris, Tennessee, and almost immediately just became part of the fabric here.
He was, and you could mention his name. I still have people ask about him, and I don't know whether y'all have told this story or not. Your dad told the story to us. You know, we'd have a Christmas, you know, dinner and would tell stories about Jim and Jim coming here. Of course, Jim, you know, lived in Paris, Tennessee, and went across the state border there and went to Murray to school. But Jim was doing, you know, play-by-play there in Henry County, and he told about that. And people may not believe his color man that he had. The job that Larry did was blind.
Yeah.
And Jim was
Wow,
so
I didn't know
good.
that.
Jim was so good at describing the games. Now here's a guy that's blind,
wow.
but Jim could describe the game so well that guy could do color by Jim's description of what was going on during that ball game.
I think I'd heard that story, but I think I forgot it.
So that's
amazing.
It is. It's amazing. I mean, that's how he was and that kind of things. I've got a lot of. We could talk for a week probably on stories of those guys and things that's gone on, and which the time we don't have. But
sure, but we do have the time. We do have the time. We're going to keep doing this in the weeks to come. Hope to have you back. Some folks excited to see you there on the Facebook land. Bryce Wood. Bryce and I played together. He says it's always great to hear Bruce. And I was thinking about this earlier. Man, what I would give. How much money would I give to hear Jim Moody say, "Give him half a dozen"? One more time.
And they each have their own things, their own their own byline. Joe's the same way, and it describes them. And it's been a pleasure to work with them. I've been involved with youth over. Talking about the year after I graduated high school, Jerry Ream called me, want me to help him with this little league ball team. And that's when your dad and Uncle Sam were playing.
Yellow Jackets.
And the Yellow Jackets. And of course. Jerry, has done the PA at high school, at Glasgow High School football forever. And, of course, he always, that's the thing we used to write him about. He'd get up there and talk about the Yellow Jacket. Well, that's a former Yellow Jacket that made that tackle or something like that. He had to
Jerry.
Add that. But
I've tried to get in touch with him, try to have him on the show. I don't know how to get in touch with him.
Well, he stays on the go now. He's missed a game or two this year. He's been away for some different things, and enjoying retirement is what he's doing, and you can't blame him for that. And I've been fortunate enough that I worked in public work. I worked 37 years for the Postal Service here in Glasgow, and got to meet a lot of people around this town. And getting back to what I was talking about, the service at this radio station, I would have people come out. I'd be on my route and tell me about listening to a ball game that I never dreamed about that person listening to a football or a basketball. I thought, they have no children, no grand. Why would? And they said they just enjoy doing it.
I almost would rather listen to the game on WCLU than I tell you, I would rather listen to the game on WCLU than I would be there almost live in person if I had to pick. I know I shouldn't say that. But having said that, you go to a ball game, and for 20, 30 years, longer, even before I've been around, you got a bunch of people in the stands with a radio on their head because they want to hear the way that you guys call it, not the way they see it, and that's part of it. So we're going to do the archives here in just a moment. We'll also check a look at the birthdays as well. I want to say hello to a few people out there on Facebook. Again, Edith Burgess, Josh Fields, Billy Compton, Jimmy Bealey's watching. Beverly Pettigo, we have Linda Armstrong, we have Michael Hale, we've got Judy Combs, my mother-in-law, who's watching from Paintsville this morning, Alicia Morgan, Tanisha Gray's watching, Linda Thomas, Sherry Jones, Alan Shirley, Dayla Hurst is watching. Hello, Dayla. Hello, Eddie Shirley. And Paul Biggers says, good morning, Jocko. Now tell me about Jocko real quick.
Well, that's a nickname I picked up in high school playing football. A friend of mine, Joe Barry Simmons, of course, we were good about. And, of course, as a youth, I can't tell everything I did. And,
sure.
And my wife used to get on me. She said, I would get on my daughters about something, and she says, you should never say anything about them about doing anything from some of the things that you have done.
Well, and your daughter's watching now with Horley. So.
Oh, well, two of them live here, so But we used to have a drill we'd do, and it would inside mostly. We'd do it outside, but Coach Gilbert and we've been blessed to have great coaches here. And
heard a lot about Coach.
Well, he was like a father to you. And anyway, we had a drill we did, and you'd lay on your back, and they'd blow a whistle, and you flip, and have to get up and do a monkey crawl, and then sprint. Well, of course, no one could ever beat me at that drill, and we were out there doing it one day. And of course, Joe Barry, I don't remember, Bill and Grace Simmons had Simmons Drugs on the square here on the north side of the square, and it's there where Subway used to be, right along in there.
Okay.
And anyway, of course, it was a hangout and stuff like that. But as a child, Joe Barry had a monkey named Jocko. and he gave me that nickname, and it stuck.
Yeah.
And then my younger brother came along 3 years later, and they just called him Bingo.
Bingo.
Because it rhymed with it. But,
there you go.
But you talk about the. I give you one quick story about the Jocko. One of the guys that didn't live here wasn't from Glasgow that I worked with at the Postal Service, carried out on the north side of town, and somebody came, asked him one day, said, "How's Jocko?" And he said he didn't have any idea who it was. And then the thing about it was, my father worked at the post office too, and his name was Bruce, but our middle names were different, and everybody called me Bruce Allen. And anyway, he kept saying Bruce TRABUE, and he didn't know who that was, because there they'd always call me. He thought my last name was Allen. Everybody called me Bruce Allen. Yeah, and he said Bruce. And they finally explained to him. He came back and said, I didn't have any idea who he was talking about, but it's a name that stuck. But it's and there's still people to this day that call. We just had our 50th class reunion, and some of my old classmates.
You don't look like a guy that would have a 50th class reunion.
Well, thank you, but
that means you're going to be sharp for the archives. You'll know some of this stuff we're talking about. 40 degrees in downtown Glasgow. When we come back, Bruce and I will give birthday shout-outs, and we have one special gong I know of coming up next here on Good Morning Live.
Prior to 2002, there were nearly 100 real property appeals per year in Barron County. I'm Brad Bailey, Barron County PVA. Since 2002, we have averaged less than one appeal per year while meeting all the requirements of the Department of Revenue. That's increased customer satisfaction that the people of Barron County deserve. Join me on November 6th. Allow me to continue to bring you the customer service and efficiency you deserve. Please vote Brad Bailey, the People's PVA.
Paid for by the campaign to re-elect Brad Bailey, Barron County PVA.
Lesenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lesenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lesenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local, family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Hi, I'm Sherry Phillips-Jones.
All right, let's talk birthdays, ladies and gentlemen. Bruce is in the studio with me. Bruce TRABUE, my guest host. Tell us who's having a birthday today, Bruce.
Well, all right, Wes, and I know a lot of these people, but Jason Pettigo, Carla Wilson, Kim Shields. Got to have a gong here for Pam Hodge Browning.
Pam Hodges Browning.
Celebrating her 60th.
60!
Austin Parker is 12. And here's a partner in crime, Joe Myers, having a big birthday today.
Awesome.
Follis Crow, Jennifer Haynes, Lily Armstrong is 6, Amy Harlow is 46, Sharon Salings, Karen Elmore is 59. So we'll have to wait a year to gong her, won't we?
We will, but it'll be ready.
Kevin Wood, Karen Johnson, Stacy Johnson, Ashley Houchins Burke, John Westerfield, Helen Burks, Belinda Coulter, Kessa Moody, and Frida White. And we all know Frida because Terry and her they have the Subway out on at Ford Furniture.
Yeah,
used to. And I used to eat lunch there every day when I carried the mail.
That's great. The Goodies Go person of the day today is Faith Curry. Faith had a birthday this month. If you see Faith Curry around town, pat her on the back, tell her she's good as gold from her friends at WCLU and a little taste of Texas. We're back after this on Good Morning Live.
A report released Friday. And I would love to represent you as your next Barron County clerk. For the past 26 years, I have served in Barron County government, allowing me to have firsthand knowledge of county finances and policies. It has also afforded me the opportunity to work beside local, state, and federal leaders, regardless of party affiliation. On November the 6th, vote for experience that counts for Barron County.
Hi, I'm Fred Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parrish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50-plus years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parrish Carpet.
And we have one more birthday, which is who?
Zach Davidson.
Zach Davidson. Okay. All right. We'll pause for just a moment. When we come back, we're going to dive into history. It's the archives with a guy who could probably tell you a whole lot about some of these things in the last few years, and he's just a guy who loves Glasgow. It's Bruce TRABUE, my co-host, here on Good Morning Live. Back after this.
Barron County doesn't belong to the drug dealers and violent criminals. It belongs to its law-abiding citizens. Hi, I'm Mike Richardson, working in Barron County as an assistant county attorney and as a resident with a family to protect myself. I agree with the outcries from our citizens. Repeat drug offenders and perpetrators of violent crimes need to be held accountable. I have the proven record of pursuing the tougher sentences these habitual violent criminals deserve.
Vote for Mike Richardson for Barron County Attorney. Ready on day one.
Paid for by Mike Richardson for Barron County Attorney.
Find the next great piece for your home at Barron River Consignment, where the inventory is designed to provide something for everyone. Affordable household items from mid-century to home decor, including furniture, artwork, dinnerware, glassware, and more. Each piece is cleaned and polished to ensure the highest quality to become the perfect fit for your home. Barron River Consignment also offers estate and tag sale services. Shop for style without breaking the bank. Barron River Consignment, located on L. Rogers Wells Boulevard in Glasgow.
A bountiful harvest is proof that hard work does pay off. Ken Davis Produce is also proof that driving just another 90 seconds past Donnelly's in Glasgow is a payoff in the quality you see and taste. And folks around here can taste the difference. Ken Davis Produce is next to the Farmer's Livestock Market. They have fall items now, like pumpkins in various shapes, colors, and sizes, and mums too. It's like a farmer's market that's open every day, but Sunday, of course, 8 to 5, 6 days a week. If you like things old-fashioned way, you're gonna love Ken Davis Produce, out 68 and 80, just past the Livestock Market.
Extreme Prosthetics understands that when it comes to comfort and function, not all prosthetic devices are made the same. A properly fitted prosthesis can allow you to walk naturally without daily pain and discomfort. Extreme Prosthetics works with your physician and insurance company to help you get the comfort and function you deserve. Don't let your current discomfort and lack of mobility discourage you. Call the experts at Extreme Prosthetics today for a better, more comfortable life.
It just takes one look at the new facility at 1300 West Main Street, and you can tell the People's Bank is growing. And that's because we have great customers who know a thing or two about growth. And what they'll all tell you is, well, the best growth strategy has always been hard work. That's why when it came time for Jerry Anderson to expand his cattle operation, he trusted the growth of his herd to the People's Bank, who worked hard to find the unique solutions to fit his needs. Experience what growth can be like with the People's Bank, working for you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Find the next great piece for your home at Barron River Consignment.
Election Day as your next Barron County Clerk. I'll continue to work for you, the citizens of Barron County. Paid for by me, Sherry Phillips Jones.
All right, Bruce, it is time that we do a little archiving. The archives are brought to you by Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services on Industrial Drive here in Glasgow, because history is made by the hard work that stands the test of time. Again, let me say that again, because we're going to quiz you on this after we're done. History is made by the hard work that stands the test of time. Joseph A. Wade brings you the archives next.
15,000 inventory items, custom brake hoses while you wait, cylinder repair. Is there anything Joseph A. Wade can't do? Well, one thing's for sure, Joseph A. Wade Incorporated serves a large community of people who believe there's no job they can't do, and that's the same attitude Joseph A. Wade has in their line of work. So for the smallest screws, Allen wrenches, or drill bits, or even a 5-stage hydraulic cylinder measuring 25 feet in length, Joseph A. Wade's motto, no problem. Joseph A. Wade Incorporated, 311 Industrial Drive, Glasgow.
Bruce TRABUE is my guest host this morning on Good Morning Live, and we'll start with history in 1918. A special thanks to the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center for compiling these archives for us so that we can look back in history, Bruce. It's a fun thing to be able to do. And we'll start with the year in 1918. And I have marked on yours, it says Bruce on it instead of the day of the week, because it gets confusing following down there with the type stuff and then the handwritten stuff. But you can actually go back and see the original articles at the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center. So if there's something that comes up that you're interested in learning a little more about, go down to the Cultural Center and check that out because, I mean, it's there, and that's why they're there. You're not going to be bugging them if you go. They love history, and if you love history, it's a place for you to get comfortable in. 1918, Bruce. By agreement of the businessmen of Glasgow and in obedience to the request of the Council of Defense, all business houses now close at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the object being to save fuel.
Well, for the war.
For the war, that's right. People my age don't understand that.
No, well, we've got so many things now. Heck, as far as to save, look at you're talking about the technology and all the phones and
sure.
and the electricity we have and that kind of situation, and we really don't probably conserve as much as we should.
Sure. Well, this day in 1928, we are talking about Mrs. E.M. Starks of Louisville, who has accepted the position of the Buy an Acre campaign for Mammoth Cave National Park Association, which the purpose was to raise additional funds needed to complete the project for a national park in the Mammoth Cave area. So you could buy an acre of cave land, kind of like you can buy a star now.
Well,
what's your name?
If you remember, several years ago, they had a thing out to high school where you could buy a square foot of the field. No, they
really?
sold the field one year. You could buy a square foot of the field.
It
was a fundraiser.
That's a good one right there. Can you imagine if they held you to that standard as far as statistics, calling a ball game? Well, he was tackled down near the John Doe. The John Doe square foot near the 28-yard line. Cats, the Scotties need to get to the Bruce TRABUE square yard in order to complete the first down.
Or he fumbled on.
he fumbled on the Joe Barry Simmons 50. You know, can you imagine that? But I digress. 1938. This story will continue on to the next page, Bruce. But the Ladies' Matinee Musicale, perhaps better known as the Glasgow Music Club, one of the oldest and most distinguished organizations in Kentucky, was organized in 1894, and one of its earliest sponsors was Glasgow's beloved lady, Miss Annie Gorn. And in recognition of her vast services to the cultural betterment of the community, the music club this year organized an additional auxiliary which has been named the Annie W. Gorn Club, to be composed of music pupils of grades 5 and 6 in school. And they had F.J. Bowles, Alanson Trigg, and K.E. Rapp been named sponsors for the latest addition to the music club here in Glasgow. So nice story there for Miss Ann Gorn.
And I believe we still have the musicale, don't we?
Oh, yeah, we do. They have an event coming up pretty soon. Sam Terry was telling me something about it. I need to look more into that because those ladies deserve a lot of attention. Now, this day in 1948, we have Mr. and Mrs. Bryant R. Edmonds of Tulsa, Oklahoma, who have been spending a few days at their farm near Beckton, during which time they staked out a site for their new home, which they expect to get under construction next spring. That's Mr. and Mrs. Bryant Edmonds.
Well, Beckton, that's where my wife is from, the Beckton community. And, of course, Chris Edmonds is an Edmonds that's from that area down there. Right. And I've spent a lot of time in that part of the county.
Yeah. It's a nice place over there. Some Amish folks live over there, too. You got to be careful when you're driving in Beckton. These days in 1958, it says here, his many friends throughout Glasgow in this section will regret to learn of the decision of Cornell C. Clark to resume his work in the educational field following his resignation as manager of the F.P. Williams Company and Hill's Firestone store.
Well, you know, Dr. Clark came back and was superintendent of schools again.
Really?
Yeah, right. I think he left, but he came back, you know, after Barron County, he was superintendent in Barron County schools.
Really? Was it when they consolidated, I guess?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Interesting. It's the name I don't know. Dr. Cornell C. Clark. We left out the doctor, but that's what the archives are for, to clarify things and figure out where we come from. Now, this day in 1968, you don't have this, Bruce, but I do. Nancy Richardson was selected as the 1968 Woman of Achievement by the Younger B&W Club.
Yes, Miss Richardson, a very fine lady. I do remember her, and I used to see her around town, and she was also called into the station a lot, didn't she?
She did. She did. So, Woman of Achievement, 1968. 1978, we skip ahead a decade to talk about Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell Brooks, who are the new owners and operators of the Barren River Sports Center on 31 East South. Glenn Alexander was the former owner. Tell me about that.
Well, the Sports Center is now used to be the Ellis Grocery there. It's right there. I think Mr. Joe Trigg has the beverage shop there now, and that's where that was. Of course, Glenn Alexander, still lives in Haywood.
Okay.
His wife was a school teacher there at Mitchell Brooks, I do remember Mitchell Brooks, but there's been a lot of things in that thing.
There have been.
My grandfather was raised in the Haywood community, and I live down there now. So
that is a central location in that. It really is, because you got Finney Road there and 252, and then you've got Matthews Mill over there. So it's a good place for a business.
Well, a lot of people don't realize how much traffic is on South 31E now. It's just unbelievable the amount of traffic that's on that road. And of course, we live there on the Finney Road, and when we moved down there in 1974 is when we moved. We came back to Glasgow. We'd been living in Bowling Green, going to school. Bonnie and I had been married, and when we lived there, we were talking about the subdivisions, the number of homes that are down there now.
Oh, yeah.
And there wasn't hardly any homes, and I said, it's just unbelievable, the traffic that goes by our house.
Oh, yeah, and that's something, too. I'll add this, because safety's a big thing for me, and just imagine that 3-mile stretch there from Greer's Florist to, like, Bullies, or maybe it's 4 miles or something like that. It's 55 through there, but you have to be so careful, because everybody's turning left or right. You might as well just imagine it's South Green Street and imagine it's a 35 some days, because it's that busy.
David Walbert told me several years ago, before he retired, at the Department of Transportation, and that of course, I guess they put up radar, and of course he used to weigh trucks on that road, because it's such a straight shot, they would avoid the scales there on I-65.
Sure.
And I can't remember exactly, but it's been several years ago that the average speed on 31 East South was 65 miles an hour.
Oh, goodness. And it doesn't need to be.
No.
Doesn't need to be. So part of history and a part of today, somehow that's how we got to it. I just think folks need to be safe out there on that road. I've caught myself a few times, you've got to pay attention. You getting some text over there, Bruce?
Yeah, from Joe Berry.
What's he saying? What's he saying, Jocko?
Well, he has sent me a photo of Jocko. He said, I guess it was his monkey. So
oh yeah.
Let me see. I'll try to bring that up.
Let me see it, and I'll send it to Aaron. Well, Aaron will put it up on the screen here.
Well, I've got to get my phone open.
All right. But yeah, we'll do that in a minute. This day in 19 and see, that was 78. So this day in 1988. You have an advertisement for Houchins. We're going to have another one for Houchins IGA over in Hiceville here in a minute. But fresh ground beef was 98 cents a pound. Red grapes were 59 cents a pound. Northern, all colors, toilet tissue at $1.09 for 4 rolls. How about that? That's pretty good prices.
Very good.
All right, Aaron, I am sending this picture over to you. When you get it ready, just come on the air and let us know, all right? All right. Here we go. So we have a picture of Jocko. It's a black and white photo, but that's all right. This day in 1998, we're talking about the Horse Cave Theater is going to host their 2nd annual Celebrity Dinner and Auction. Did you ever attend one of those Celebrity Dinner and Auctions, Bruce?
No, I didn't, Joe. See, I'm too used to working with Joe. Wes, I sure didn't. I missed something, hadn't I?
It's a good time of the year to have those sort of theatrical things. We see a lot going on. Far off Broadway players, and it's starting to get cold. People want to go inside and do something, and so that's what it is. And then this day in 2008, we have a ribbon cutting, and I was there for Aaron's Rental in Glasgow.
I guess you did a live remote then, if you were there.
I don't know if we did. I don't know if we did a live remote. But I do know that when we had the election a few years back, where they loaned us a TV to put out here in the lobby because it was getting crowded in the back. But Aaron's has been around. They've changed locations a few times, but they got some nice stuff in there. Still in business 10 years later. It's the Archives here on WCLU, brought to you by Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services on Industrial Drive, because
hard work,
history
leads to hard work. I tell you what, I can give you. I can give you our halftime promo.
Okay.
These halftime stats were brought to you by the accounting firm of Camel, Myers and
There
Rutledge,
you go.
where we know encouraging today's youth yields bright returns for the future. See, I do that
and that's
so
a
much.
great line. That's a great line. They should pay us more money for that. Hey, so Aaron's got it ready on the screen here. Let's put that full screen, Aaron. Yeah. Check that out. There's Jocko, Joe Barry Simmons's monkey.
That's his little brother.
It's his little brother, Joe Barry. What a trip, man. We should have got Joe. I tell you what, Joe Barry, come. Let's do this show together sometime. I think that would be great, don't you?
Yes, he's got lots of stories, and he and I have been in lots of scrapes. We lived together for a semester at school.
Always a good way to get to know somebody. Deborah Morgan says, another beautiful morning in Glasgow. Always enjoy the shows. Luke Pierce says, good morning. Luke was our guest host Friday.
Yes.
Debbie Logston's watching. Bubby Perkins says, good morning. Hello, Bubby. I still owe Bubby some money for barbecue. And I need to talk to him about doing barbecue for the election night here.
Well,
you're going to work a precinct, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
You got to try Bubby's barbecue.
I can't remember how long I've done that. We were talking about the things I've done. This was first the commercials and the sports, and being with football games. Your father, he decided we had people. Because it was on the AM, you can't get that hardly out of Glasgow. And of course, travel quite a bit in football, and people would like to listen to the ball games. You've talked about that, so he came out with that little 1-watt transformer. Where the first antenna we had for that, of course, he built. You know how handy he is about building and keeping stuff up. And
we wouldn't be in business without that skill.
It's probably 3 foot, so it was PVC pipe that he had this antenna in. And every time we go to a football game, I'd have to climb on top of we'd have to find a place to hook that thing up. I'd be climbing on roofs and things like that so we could get our our broadcast out in the stadium.
Sure, you have to. I mean, that's that important. I love it. That was a good round of archives. Your daughter, Emily Trabue Scott, saying good morning. Margie Gentry as well, tuning in on Facebook Live. Glad to have you folks engaging with us. Birthday line is open. If you got a birthday for us, we're going to pause in just a moment, and we'll come back here on Good Morning Live. Right now it's 40 degrees in downtown Glasgow.
Find the next great piece for your home at Barren River Consignment, where the inventory is designed to provide something for everyone. Affordable household items from mid-century to home decor, including furniture, artwork, dinnerware, glassware, and more. Each piece is cleaned and polished to ensure the highest quality to become the perfect fit for your home. Barren River Consignment also offers estate and tag sale services. Shop for style without breaking the bank. Barren River Consignment, located on L. Rogers Wells Boulevard in Glasgow.
Barren County doesn't belong to the drug dealers and violent criminals. It belongs to its law-abiding citizens. Hi, I'm Mike Richardson, working in Barren County as an assistant county attorney and as a resident with a family to protect myself. I agree with the outcries from our citizens. Repeat drug offenders and perpetrators of violent crimes need to be held accountable. I have the proven record of pursuing the tougher sentences these habitual violent criminals deserve.
Vote for Mike Richardson for Barren County Attorney. Ready on day one.
Paid for by Mike Richardson for Barren County Attorney.
It just takes one look at the new facility at 1300 West Main Street, and you can tell the People's Bank is growing. And that's because we have great customers who know a thing or two about growth. And what they'll all tell you is, well, the best growth strategy has always been hard work. That's why when it came time for Jerry Anderson to expand his cattle operation, he trusted the growth of his herd to the People's Bank, who worked hard to find the unique solutions to fit his needs. Experience what growth can be like with the People's Bank, working for you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Sherry Phillips Jones, and I would love to represent you as your next Barren County Clerk. For the past 26 years, I have served in Barren County government, allowing me to have first-hand knowledge of county finances and policies. It has also afforded me the opportunity to work beside local, state, and federal leaders, regardless of party affiliation. On November the 6th, vote for experience that counts for Barren County.
As our television broadcast, I'm Wes Royce here in the studio, and we've got a check of local weather. This weather forecast brought to you by South Central Bank.
South Central Bank is a locally owned bank that cares about you and our community, too.
My name's Roger Mercer. My wife and I, Terry, own Southern Kentucky Collision here in Glasgow. It's a collision repair center. We've been dealing with South Central Bank for probably 23, 24 years. They've always been good to us. They're a hometown bank. South Central Bank's been a really big part of our business as far as the growth. They've been there for us when we needed to borrow money to grow, and we appreciate that very much from South Central Bank.
South Central Bank, small enough to know you, big enough to help. Member FDIC.
One batch of rain passing well south of us like Gulf Coast south, but not the second batch. And that second batch could have connections to a tropical system, Willa. It's in the East Pack, so things are going to hook up, and we're going to be on the northern fringes of the rainfall, but I think by week's end at least some rain. No rain today. A mid and high level overcast around, filtering clear sky. Some of us already clear. We'll go through the day with, I think, more and more sunshine. We're going to be right on the edge where we see the high clouds, 69 degrees. Tonight, mainly clear, and maybe a few ticks colder down near 36. So give me some patchy frost tomorrow morning. We'll go through Wednesday with sunshine, some afternoon clouds, cooler, 61. And then on Thursday, we cloud over, highs only in the upper 50s, getting set up for a little bit of rain on Friday as that low develops along the coast and heads north-northeast. Highs on Friday with rain in the mid-50s, but we should dry out for at least a part of the weekend. I'm meteorologist Ray Stijic from a Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
All right, thank you, Ray. That's a good look at our local weather forecast here, and nothing to worry about in the constant coverage in-studio radar screen because it's all well south of us in the Gulf of Mexico. Praying for those folks out there. Bruce, tell us about our current conditions today.
Well, Wes, the humidity is at 97%. Our winds are calm. Our barometric pressure is 30.21. And we've had no precipitation in the last 24 hours.
Okay, that gets us caught up on the weather forecast. Coming up next, we've got your trivia question. Bruce will ask it. I've got a statistics question, but being the great statistician that you are, we've got a stats question and we've got some more to follow in Tidbit News. We've got some crazy statistics for you coming up in Tidbit News that I pulled out just for Bruce. So we'll do that here in just a moment. So stick with us here on Good Morning Live, 40 degrees.
TJ Sampson, providing TLC, Total Local Care, 24/7. My husband and I were both admitted to TJ Sampson. They were so good to us, and we will always go back to TJ, your local healthcare provider. Total Local Care, 24/7.
Extreme Prosthetics understands that when it comes to comfort and function, not all prosthetic devices are made the same. A properly fitted prosthesis can allow you to walk naturally without daily pain and discomfort. Extreme Prosthetics works with your physician and insurance company to help you get the comfort and function you deserve. Don't let your current discomfort and lack of mobility discourage you. Call the experts at Extreme Prosthetics today for a better, more comfortable life.
Why the name?
And before we do trivia, we need to thank our sponsors over at Phillips Family IGA, where they're having a special sale this week on lots of Halloween goodies. You can get your Reese's Cups and your Hershey's baking chips for $2.49, Oreo cookies and Chips Ahoy are 2 for $5, Doritos 2 for $5, and some other deals they've got going on. In the butcher shop, they have some really good deals going on. $4.99 for a whole boneless New York strip. That's $4.99 a pound. That's a good deal. $1.79 a pound on the pork loin, and chicken fryers 99 cents a pound. So those are some good deals at the butcher shop. Butcher shop at Phillips IGA in downtown Hinesville brings you today's trivia question, where our winner will be put into the drawing and will have a chance to win a family pack on Friday. So we'll do that on Friday, but first we need a winner today. Phillips IGA trivia right after this.
Think of plenty of reasons to shop at your local Phillips IGA. Fresh meats and quality products, fair prices, and friendly service. I'm store manager Trevor Phillips, inviting you to stop in and shop our 5-star store rated by IGA. Visit us on Main Street in Hinesville and online at phillipsiga.com to view our full sales ad, and make sure to like us on Facebook. Phillips Family IGA, where family, friends, and food have been coming together since 1960.
270-651-9149 is the number to call here on the trivia line. Who wants to win Phillips IGA Morning Trivia? 270-651-9149 the number to call. Bruce, give us the question for today.
Well, of course, this one, we could get to answer that through a deduction of elimination probably today because, a stat. But Here's our trivia question for today.
All right.
How long does summer last on the planet Uranus?
270-651-9149. One more time, Bruce.
How long does summer last on the planet Uranus?
Let's go to the phone lines now, see if we know. Trivia.
6 months.
Not 6 months. 270-651-9149. How long does summer last on the planet Uranus? Who can tell me the answer to this question? Who wants to get in our drawing for the family pack for Phillips IGA? Let's go to the phone lines again. Trivia.
1 day.
Not a day. Think longer than a day. Trivia.
12 months.
Not 12 months. Let's try another one. Trivia.
10 days.
Not 10 days. I'll give you a hint. Y'all aren't even getting close. Trivia.
3 months.
Nope. It's longer than a year. I'll tell you that. 270-651-9149. Bruce, what's the question?
How long does summer last on the planet Uranus?
Trivia.
18 months.
Not 18 months. Trivia. Hello, Trivia.
21 years.
That's right. Who am I speaking with?
Deborah Wilson.
Hey, Deborah. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
How'd you know that? You been to Uranus, or did you look that up?
I had to look it up.
Deborah Wilson. All right. And are you the same Deborah Wilson that tunes in on Facebook, or are you a different Deborah?
That's me.
That's you. Well, appreciate all your comments you leave each and every morning. We enjoy hearing from you, Deborah, and I'm glad to put you in our drawing for the Phillips IGA morning trivia question. So be sure and tune in on Friday and see if you win, okay?
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Deborah Wilson, she got it right. She's an avid listener here at WCLU.
Well, I wonder how warm the summers are on Uranus. I bet they're pretty warm.
Should we call Deborah back?
Well, she might have looked that up, but I could stand a 21-year summer, I think, if it wasn't too hot.
I tell you what, I love fall.
It
doesn't last very long.
Fall is.
But there's so many good things that come in fall. But now 21 summers, and that's a 21-year summer. And there's a song by Brothers Osborne. Aaron will chime in here called 21.
Yes, it is.
21 Summer.
Yep.
Great song, is it not?
Yeah, I'll probably play that now this afternoon.
I have that in our repertoire if we have time. I don't think we're going to have time, but maybe tomorrow. I've got that in the today's audio file somewhere.
Sweet.
So, hey. But we can't play music while we're on Facebook.
No.
They kick us off.
Yeah.
All right. So, coming up next, well, I'll just be transparent with you guys. I'm going to run and take Hank to school. I've got the news recorded. We're going to play the news. And then by the time Hank gets to school and I get back, Bruce and I are going to sit back down and talk stats, talk football, talk everything. Just stay with us.
Correct yourself. You're not going to run. You're going to drive.
I'm going to drive very slowly with my seatbelt on. All right. This is Good Morning Live. It is really, really, really live radio here on WCLU. And thanks for listening. Congratulations to Deborah Wilson. We're back after this on Good Morning Live. Stay tuned.
Hello, this is Gary Tillman, and I'm running for Barron County Judge Executive. Have you ever stopped to think how blessed we are to live here? Barron County borders a national park, has a state park with a major reservoir, and we have an interstate and parkway running through us. Few counties can say that. It is time we move forward and begin to grow again. I don't have all the answers, but I do have all the desire, and no one will work harder for you than I will. We need leadership, and we need it now. I appreciate your support and your vote in November.
Paid for by committee to elect Gary Tillman. Melanie Watson, Treasurer.
Now at Wendy's, any size fry, just $1. Any fry, $1 at Wendy's.
CBS News update. Turkish President Erdogan has just told lawmakers there that the killing of Saudi writer and critic Jamal Khashoggi was planned days in advance. Through an interpreter, he says there are many questions left unanswered like this one.
Now there is official acknowledgement that there was a murder. Where is the body? Why do we still not have the body?
CBS's Holly Williams is in Istanbul.
Turkey's ruling party said that what happened to Jamal Khashoggi was, quote, planned in a bloodthirsty manner, directly contradicting the Saudi version of events that Khashoggi died, apparently accidentally, after getting into a fight inside the Saudi consulate.
And the Saudis have been accused of a massive cover-up, but Foreign Minister Adel Al-Jubeir says the investigation will be legit.
Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to see to it that the investigation is thorough and complete and that the truth is revealed. and that those responsible will be held to account.
CBS News Update, I'm Peter King.
The Royce Radio Family, WCLU, 1490 Glasgow, WCLU FM, 102.3 Munfordville, Glasgow, and W276DO, 103.1 Glasgow.
Bailey Gibson, they're my deal-making, hand-shaking, wheel-turning, hard-working dealer.
In life, mistakes happen. Dad dropped his flip phone in the lake. We all had to laugh, but guess what? He bought another flip phone. Got just what he wanted. You should too. Don't make a mistake by going to a dealer who doesn't put you and your needs first. Don't let your needs and dreams sink to the bottom. Snag a great deal at Bailey Gibson.
Come on, call my dandy's new flip phone.
Everybody wants to feel good about their pharmacy, but in the quest for good health, price does become a factor. In Glasgow, we have a pharmacy that has been able to combine customer service with the lowest possible price day in and day out. That pharmacy is Park Avenue Pharmacy. Ask your friends. They'll tell you that when comparing the price of prescription drugs time and time again, Park Avenue Pharmacy is the lowest price. And with full-time pharmacists and friendly faces you know, you should request the prescriptions be filled at Park Avenue Pharmacy. Park Avenue Pharmacy is located in the Park Avenue Shopping Center, easy to get to from anywhere. Phone 651-5156. You can get low prices and full service. Simply trust Park Avenue Pharmacy in Glasgow.
For WCLU Local News, I'm Wes Royce reporting. The master plan for the city of Glasgow was the main topic both in and out of open session at last night's regular meeting. The city approved plans to begin the feasibility and designs for the reconstruction of the property at American Legion Park and the Glasgow City Pool. The new facility would include a lazy river, slides, and more of a modern and appealing look that is forecast to at least triple the amount of use at the municipal facility. This area has been targeted as the number one priority of the city's master plan. Another issue to be addressed by the master plan is the lack of parks near the downtown area. After a closed session, the city approved for Mayor Dick Doty to enter into contracts to acquire 4 acres beside Dollar General on West Main Street, moving west adjacent to the post office and continuing north to the Front Street and back east near the water company's property that adjoins the BB&D property. These 4 parcels will be used for a splash park, according to Doty.
It was identified in the master plan that the downtown area was underserved with park space, so this fits right into that master plan. And then part 2 of that is that their recommendation for downtown park space was green space, walking trails, benches, that kind of thing, and a splash pad, not a water park, but simply that water that squirts up out of the ground. Which is really a neat thing because that has a longer season than a swimming pool or aquatic center.
The city of Glasgow will celebrate Halloween on October 31st. Some road closures that will take place from 4:30 until 7:30 p.m. on that evening are South Green Street will be one way from Houchin Southgate Plaza to College Street with the right lane closed. Bunch Avenue will be closed from Broadway to South Green Street. Leslie Avenue will be closed from Cleveland Avenue to South Green Street, and Cleveland Avenue will be closed from Leslie Avenue to Willow Street. The Glasgow Police Department will be patrolling on foot and in vehicles. No stopping will be allowed for drop-off. You must park and walk. On Sunday, the Glasgow Police Department arrested Tyrus L. Mitchell, age 21, of Cave City on charges of theft by unlawful taking, failure to maintain insurance, fleeing or evading police first degree in a motor vehicle, wanton endangerment first degree, and wanton endangerment first degree of a police officer, and reckless driving. According to the citation, Officer Wright with the Glasgow Police Department was dispatched to at least 2 subjects who had stolen 3 cases of beer from the Circle K food store on Columbia Avenue driving a silver Dodge Durango. When attempting to stop the vehicle, it sped off at a high rate of speed, turning onto Park Avenue, McGraw, Humble Avenue, then East Main Street, and then crashed into a guardrail. Mitchell and a passenger in the vehicle, Thomas Daly, age 28, of Glasgow, were taken into custody and transported to the hospital for treatment and later released and lodged in the Barron County Jail. Assisting Officer Wright was Officer Morrison, who later charged Daly with theft by unlawful taking. 3 cases of Bud Light were seized, and according to the citation, the vehicle reached speeds of 80 miles an hour on city streets. Therese Lee Dokes, age 22 of Glasgow, and Cortez Dokes, age 21 of Glasgow, were both arrested Saturday in response to a complaint that individuals were sitting outside smoking marijuana. Officers Dewberry and Bergen approached the group of individuals and confirmed the smell of marijuana. Officer Bergen patted down Therese Dokes and found a gun and 2 detached magazines and Xanax in the front door of his vehicle. As Therese Dokes was being handcuffed by Officer Dewberry, Cortez Dokes began to fight Officer Bergen. After being detained, a Xanax was found in his pocket. Therese Dokes was charged with carrying a concealed deadly weapon, possession of marijuana, and possession of controlled substance 3rd degree. Cortez Dokes was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct 2nd degree, menacing, and possession of a controlled substance 3rd degree. Both were lodged in the Barron County Jail. More local news when we continue here on WCLU.
I've always been a talker. I love to laugh, but I was wearing dentures, and I felt uncomfortable because of being young. My 50th birthday gift for my husband, I wanted to get implants.
That's C.J. Elliott, another satisfied patient of Dr. Jim Thurman in dental implants.
The way they treat you, it was sort of like a family, and it was like, this is what I want.
And of course, C.J. had done her research on the subject and Dr. Thurman.
When I went to another dentist, and he recommended Thurman. I love it. Well, I'm glad I got Dr. Thurman. I really am. People ask me all the time, what do you have? Who did it? And I tell them, Dr. Thurman.
And after having a full set of dental implants from Dr. Thurman, CJ has no regrets.
This was the best thing I ever did. And I would do it again if I had to. I would do it again.
So if you're in a similar situation, here's what CJ would say to you.
If you are wanting to get dental implants, that Dr. Thurman would be the man to go to.
To learn more, call the office of Dr. James Thurman at 651-5939.
Well, folks, I got to tell you, my 2 young bucks have come a long way these last few years.
Well, Bill, we had some good training. Pettigo Lessenberry has a wealth of knowledge, and we're lucky to have a company like that backing us.
Jared, don't you mean ISU, Pettigo Lessenberry? ISU, Integrity, Strength, Unity.
I tried to tell him, boss man.
We're just giving you a hard time, Jared. These young bucks, Jared Pursley and Daniel Bird, we're just so proud to have them. You know, the most important thing they've learned is that they want to be able to treat people right, and they work hard to find their customers the coverage they need.
We're ISU, Pettigo Lessenberry, growing with a proud community since 1902.
And still learning every day. Give one of these young bucks a call. Jared or Daniel, 651-8837. They'd be proud if you do, and so would I.
All right, Jared. It's ISU, Integrity, Strength, Unity. All right, I got it.
728 right here on WCLU. Well, 727, sorry. Right here on WCLU. Good morning live. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, EPB, Channel 6, and, of course, on Light 102.3 FM, 1490 AM, and 103.1 FM. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gents. We are now going to hear from WCLU News Director Wes Royce with Seg 2 of your live and local news, 7 o'clock morning edition.
And more local news at this hour tonight from 6 until 9 p.m. at Jackie Browning Park. The Barron County Parks and Recreation Department, along with the Fiscal Court Department's Trunk or Treat, is the Spooky Fest. On Field Number 1, they'll be showing the film Hocus Pocus and Casper's Kickball on Field 3 for both kids and adults. They'll also have wiffle ball, vampire volleyball, and a park spook ride and a hay ride. Free hot dogs will be given while supplies last. That's tonight from 6 to 9 p.m. at Jackie Browning Park. Construction continues on I-65 in Hardin County tonight and Wednesday night. There will be a closure of the southbound inside lane at mile point 91 for paving work, reducing southbound to 1 lane. Each night that closure will begin at 7 p.m. and will complete by 7 a.m. the next morning. Also tonight, the on-ramp from US 62 to southbound 65 will be milled under traffic. Flaggers will be present to direct traffic around milling operations. This will begin at 8 p.m. and be complete by 6 a.m. the next morning. Also Wednesday night, on-ramp for US 62 southbound will be paved under traffic. Flaggers will be present. And Thursday night, the southbound I-65 off-ramp to US 62 will be closed for paving operations as well. The Edmonton-Metcalfe County Chamber of Commerce will conduct a ribbon-cutting ceremony for Bowling Community Park's food pantry, located at 1608 West Stockton Street in Edmonton, on Friday, October 26 at 10 a.m. The Bowling Park food pantry serves over 500 families a month. Park Director Lisa Boswell invites everyone to attend and tour the new facility. Also, according to Sheriff Boston Hensley, during the week of October 15th, the following warrants were served by Hart County Sheriff's Office. Michael A. Reynolds, age 33, of Bonneville, was arrested on Hart County indictment warrant and was charged with theft by unlawful taking $500 or more but less than $10,000 and persistent felony offender. Reynolds was lodged in the Hart County Jail. Also, Jeffrey O. Clancy, age 37, of Louisville, was arrested on a Jefferson County bench warrant for trafficking in marijuana less than 8 ounces. First offense, receiving stolen property of a firearm, possession of a firearm by convicted felon, possession of controlled substance first degree, first offense cocaine, and probation violation for felony offense. Also, Clancy was served a Jefferson County Circuit bench warrant for probation violation for a felony offense. Clancy was lodged in the Hart County Jail in lieu of a $10,000 cash bond. For WCLU Local News, I'm Wes Royce reporting.
Do you wake up every day feeling like you've been in a wrestling match? Could be your opponent is your mattress. Glasgow Mattress Outlet has helped a lot of folks win the battle for a great night's sleep by having a large showroom full of great choices for your home. Competitive pricing with remote beds starting at $235, and they have the memory foam mattresses for any size bed. Buying the right mattress to fit your need isn't complicated. Just stop in at Glasgow Mattress Outlet and see how easy they make it. They even have comfortable and affordable sheets. Any size 6-piece sheet set is just $22.65. Wow! Remember, Glasgow Mattress Outlet is stocking pocket knives for Christmas too. Find out what Glasgow Mattress Outlet customers already know. A better night means a happier life. Get started at 629 West Main, open Monday through Friday 9 to 5:30 and Saturday till 4:30.
The fall harvest season is at its best at your year-round produce market, Ken Davis & Sons Produce in Glasgow. Look at those shelves full of Michigan apples. Apples as crisp as the fall air. Red and golden delicious. Golden Supreme, Gala, Fuji, Mutsu, Macintosh, Jonathan, Jana Prince, and Honey Crisp, all ready for the feast. And the fall pears have arrived at Ken Davis. Delicious, sweet, and juicy fall pears. There's still field-grown and vine-ripened tomatoes in stock at Ken Davis. And you can round out your shopping trip with satisfying apple cider, a new selection of sorghum, and, of course, our popular old-fashioned candy. Going to market means going to Ken Davis & Sons Produce, located on Highway 6880 just past Wright Implement and next to the Farmers Livestock Market. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 till 5. Enjoy fall at Ken Davis Produce.
From the Kentucky News Network, I'm Jerry Bloom. A gut feeling from a New Jersey mom and her tip to 911 helped Kentucky State Police stop a school shooting before the suspected gunman even left his driveway.
Coberly Bull woke up to a notification she describes as the most hateful message she'd ever received in her life. The message from the Facebook account of 20-year-old Dylan Jarrell repeatedly used the N-word, saying he hoped her children would die because they're black. She found out he lived in Kentucky, so she called state police, telling WKYT,
I would hope that someone would, in the same situation, just do the same thing.
Kentucky State Police say Jarrell was pulling out of his driveway with hundreds of rounds of ammunition and a detailed plan of attack on 2 school districts, Anderson County Schools and Shelby County Public Schools. I'm Suzanne Duval.
A listening tour by the Bishop of Archdiocese of Owensboro will continue tomorrow night. The tour by Bishop William Medley is intended to talk about sexual misconduct within the Catholic Church. Tomorrow's discussion will be held at Our Lady of Lourdes Parish in Owensboro at 6:30. A Texas man's trip to Kentucky ends with an arrest.
Kentucky State Police, along with the Attorney General's Cyber Crimes Unit, arrested 65-year-old Gregory Lee Ruby of Brazoria, Texas, after he got off a flight at the Lexington Bluegrass Airport. Investigators say he made the 900-mile trip because he believed he was meeting up with 2 children under the age of 12 for sex. Harubi now being charged with 4 counts of unlawful use of electronic means originating or received within the Commonwealth of Kentucky to induce a minor to engage in sexual or other prohibited activities, all Class D felonies. He's being held in the Fayette County Jail on $100,000 bond. I'm Will Clark.
And I'm Jerry Bloom.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
For fast, easy, and secure electronic banking, Community Trust has a wide variety of banking services to meet your needs, including internet banking, bill pay, and mobile banking. We now have even more great services like Apple Pay, make payments directly from your smartphone, and People Pay, a fast, easy, secure way to send and receive money from your smartphone. Visit us on the internet to learn more at ctbi.com. That's ctbi.com.
Community Trust Bank, building communities built on trust. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Coming soon to a collision near you. Wasted, fried, hammered, blitzed, baked, bombed, bent, plastered, wrecked, trashed, totaled, tanked, stoned, soused, sloshed.
No matter what you call it, call for a ride before you drive. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid with federal funds through the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
7:35 right here on WCLU. We'll be right back after this break with the birthdays, with your latest checkup on the birthday list here in 7 o'clock. That was the latest edition of Live and Local News with WCLU News Director Wes Royce. And you just heard a check-in on the KNN Kentucky News Network. We'll be right back here with more after this.
Thoughts about safety from A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home. A beautiful custom in our community is drivers paying respect to the departed and their families by pulling to the shoulder of the road when meeting a funeral procession. It shows reverence, respect, and even love for those suffering a loss. As meaningful as this is, your safety should always come before paying respects. The beautiful hills and winding roads that lead to many rural cemeteries can be a threat to public safety when drivers pull off the road near curves, hilltops, bridges, and other natural elements of our roads. For the sake of those sharing the road, including those in the procession, we urge you to use extreme caution where visibility is limited. Make the safe decision when encountering an oncoming funeral procession. Kentucky law doesn't require drivers to pull over. It's a tradition that should be governed by safety first. A message from A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home of Glasgow.
This check of your local weather from WCLU is brought to you by the People's Bank, working for you.
Can you believe it's almost Christmas again? It seems to come sooner and sooner every year. Don't let Santa be caught empty-handed. Start a Christmas Club account at the People's Bank. Start your new Christmas Club account this month. Make deposits anytime, any amount until October 2019. Your account pays out in October, and you are ready for holiday shopping. You will even earn interest. Stop by our office today to start saving for the holidays, and let us relieve some of that holiday stress. The People's Bank, working for you. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Mid and high-level overcast around, filtering clear sky. Some of us already clear. We'll go through the day with, I think, more and more sunshine. We're going to be right on the edge where we see the high clouds, 69 degrees. Tonight, mainly clear, and maybe a few ticks colder down near 36. We'll go through Wednesday with sunshine, some afternoon clouds, 61. And then on Thursday, we cloud over, highs only in the upper 50s, getting set up for a little bit of rain on Friday as that low develops along the coast and heads north-northeast. Highs on Friday with rain in the mid-50s. But I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick from a Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. Right now, we're looking at 43 degrees. The traffic's pretty busy downtown Glasgow, and folks trying to get to school, so be safe out there. We've got a lot going on this morning. We are going to now take a look at the birthdays here in about 30 seconds. Stay tuned.
Do you use a debit?
Fire Pit Spirits? Because your beverage of choice is meant to be enjoyed with good friends, celebrating life, happiness, or just the end of a hard week of work. And, as always, it's meant to be consumed responsibly. So, whatever you're celebrating, gather round your fire pit, because good times are made with the ones you choose to keep in your circle. Fire Pit Spirits. Best selection, best service, best friends.
And your good as gold person of the day today here on WCLU is Faith Curry. Faith has a birthday this month, and had some folks want to make her good as gold. So if you see Faith around town, pat her on the back, tell her so from her friends at WCLU. And a little taste of Texas coming up Friday. We'll have that weekly dinner draw for a little taste of Texas. So good luck to Faith on that. Bruce, tell us about the birthdays.
All righty. Today's birthdays celebration is Jason Pettigo, Carla Wilson, Kim Shields, and as you said, we had the gong for Pam Hodge Browning today.
Let's do that again.
Who is 60.
There you go, Pam.
Austin Parker is 12. Follis Crow has a birthday. I would say Follis is close to 60 or in that. Well, he's older than that now.
I'm not going to say a word.
No. Jennifer Haynes. Lily Armstrong is 6. Amy Harlow is 46.
Yeah.
Sharon Salings. Karen Elmore's 59. And we have Kevin Wood, Karen Johnson, Stacy Johnson, Ashley Houshins-Burke, John Westerfield, Helen Burks, Belinda Coulter, Kessa Moody, Frida White, and we added Zach Davidson. And those are our birthdays, except for Mr. Joe Myers, who I work with every week. Been lots of miles with Joe, and we were talking about that. Joe celebrating a birthday. Joe's grandfather, goes to some ball games, got to go with us, and very spry guy. But Joe's father, Joe David, was my brother's age, and of course Joe David.
Your brother tuned in on Facebook saying "Go, bro." By the way,
is that right? And anyway, we Joe's father and I celebrate birthdays, but his birthday's today. And the thing about it, I told you we've been discussing off the air some about the Randall and I, we worked together for all those years, and we pull pranks on each other and on Jim and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And of course, Joe being in his 40s, and he's when Larry and I started traveling and with Joe some and Randall, we our little pranks and stuff, and I would say things sometimes, and Joe would turn around and he would look at me, and Joe's sort of like me, things got to be just right, and he would look at me, and I'd have to say, Joe, I'm just kidding. This is a joke. I'm not serious.
Yeah.
and that went on for quite a while there. Being with those people as much as I'm with, of course, I'll give this quick story about Randall. Randall and I, of course, Randall and Larry are a couple years older than I am, but of course, Randall was a manager on the basketball and helped with football, did stats even when he was in high school. And Randall and I, then we started working together. He came to the Postal Service several years after I did, but it wound up that his route was right next to mine, and of course we would talk most mornings over there as we were putting our mail up, and then I changed routes. And wasn't long after I changed, for some reason, another route next to that came available, so we were still side by side. We have daughters that are about 14 days apart in age, and so we coached them in Little League, and we had a travel team with them, and then we went to church at the same church there at First Christian. We were on the board and did a lot of things, and we were one day somewhere, and Linda Lou, his wife, was there, and they were asking Linda Lou about something about Randall. Said what Randall so and said. She said, well, why don't you ask Bruce? Said he's with him a lot more than I am.
That's funny. Follis Crow texted me, said, I'm proud to be 66 today, just 2 years behind Bruce.
I knew he was right at my age. I can remember before Follis got his license. He used to. My grandfather had a blue and white Bronco. They first came out with those little Broncos. Little.
I wish I had one.
Well, Beth and Donnie still have one that my grandfather owned. But the first one he ever owned was a little pickup they came out with. It was a 6-cylinder straight shift. It was a little blue and white pickup that he used. He had he was a mechanic and owned a garage on Cherry Street behind his home. And I used to get to drive that. I lived with my grandparents. I was very fortunate that my parents were out of town at that time, and I got to come back to Glasgow because I wanted to play football here. My father and uncle had played here, and my grandparents were gracious enough, my mother's parents, to let me live with them, and he provided me with some kind of vehicle when I was in school to drive, and he had that little Bronco, and I remember Follis riding around in that blue and white Bronco. Somebody asked me about that thing the other day.
Yeah, they're sharp vehicles. We got Debbie Preston watching from Paintsville. Hello, Donnie Marion. So good to hear from you folks. Now we're going to talk stats a little bit. We're going to pause now and take a quick break. When we come back, we've got a great round of tidbit news. Aaron Russell will join us. Bruce TRABUE is my co-host here on Good Morning Live. It's 43 degrees in downtown Glasgow.
Prior to 2002, there were nearly 100 real property appeals per year in Barron County. I'm Brad Bailey, Barron County PVA. Since 2002, we have averaged less than one appeal per year while meeting all the requirements of the Department of Revenue. That's increased customer satisfaction that the people of Barron County deserve. Join me on November 6th. Allow me to continue to bring you the customer service and efficiency you deserve. Please vote Brad Bailey, the People's PVA.
Paid for by the campaign to re-elect Brad Bailey, Barron County PVA.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good. He'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
Who will be the future face of Pettigo Lessenberry? Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley.
And I'm Daniel Bird.
And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Growing with a proud community since 1902.
Lessenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lessenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lessenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local, family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Hi, I'm Fred Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parrish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50-plus years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parrish Carpet.
Tuesday, November 6th.
Paid for by the Michael Judge Campaign Committee.
From the north, south, east, west, NEWS, here's the latest news.
From around the globe and up the street, it is Tidbit News. Joined in the studio today with Aaron Russell and Bruce TRABUE this morning, who's my guest host. And Bruce is a statistician like there never was. And as I was looking for some statistic trivia questions, I found Uranus has a 21-year summer. But I also found some very other interesting tidbits. Y'all just sit back and react if you find this interesting.
All right.
More than 10 people a year are killed by a vending machine.
I can see that.
They are heavy.
Things get caught.
Things get caught. You get mad. And sometimes when you try to fight the vending machine wins.
Well, you know those with the cranes. I've seen a little child, they've got that big door because they got those stuffed animals, have crawled up in those vending machines.
I know. We had a tidbit story about that probably less than a year ago, Aaron.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was
I worked that
funny,
morning,
but not funny. Not a fun day for those parents or that child.
No.
Here's another interesting statistic, and Tag Taylor will like this. 0.3% of solar energy from the Sahara Desert is enough to power the entire continent of Europe. 0.3% of the solar energy that can be acquired from the Sahara could actually provide electricity for the entire continent of Europe.
Well, you've looked that up. It was been in the last couple of weeks. I read an article about that, and they were showing if they put a solar field out there, they told it was. I don't remember exactly how many acres it would take that they put on the Sahara Desert. They could supply energy for the world.
Yeah.
And because of the sunlight that it gets, but they said it would also make the desert cooler and provide things for the desert if they had those solar panels there.
We could reverse global warming if we did that.
Well, we might.
Who knows? All right. This is one for Eddie Bruner here. All right. The oil used by jewelers to lubricate clocks and watches costs about $3,000 a gallon.
Man.
My goodness.
$3,000 a gallon.
I'm worried about gas prices.
Yeah, we complain. That's what I agree with you, Aaron. We were complaining about gas prices.
Yeah. Can you believe that the watch oil went up again this week? I can't believe these prices it's getting to.
Start a hate group on Facebook. All right, this day, here we go. It takes 6 months to build a Rolls Royce and 13 hours to build a Toyota. Now that's
wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Car airbags kill one person for every 22 lives they save. Did not know that.
Yeah.
This is interesting. When glass breaks, the cracks move at speeds of up to 3,000 miles an hour. When you break glass, when it cracks, that's cracking at 3,000 miles an hour.
Jeez.
But you think about the energy it takes to create glass, then it's not really surprising, but it's just the other.
Well, it's like you say, when you break it, it just explodes. So.
Can't really see it explode. It's just there. It's solid 1 minute and a pile of shards the next minute. So
here's one for you. Walmart generates $3 million in revenue every 7 minutes.
That's wild. That's wild to think that. Like, I remember reading an article about Bill Gates and like how much money he makes a second. Like he makes not a second, or is it a minute? I think it's like $117 a minute or something like that.
That's a good rate. That's a good rate.
Yeah, but you talk about what all you're talking about how much they generate to Walmart.
Yeah, and then you got to look at how much it costs them to.
but look what it's put out of it. Heck, when I was growing up, there were 5 or 6 hardware stores just in downtown Glasgow, and now you can't find anything unless you go to Walmart.
Yeah. Convenience is one thing, but man, I miss those days, and even days that I missed, I've heard about. So, one more stat here that we've got. Where did it go? Okay, yeah, this is it. This is for my Sonic employees.
Okay.
There are 293 ways to make change for $1.
I've got one more. You talk about that change deal though, and we've had that situation. My wife, somebody was talking about one of my daughters going somewhere the other day and buying something, and they gave of course now with all these conveniences, say they put down the amount on the cash register and it tells them how much change. So many of these people don't learn how to count change. They have to give it back, and if you give them it, my wife gets on me when I go through the drive-through because I'll give them the change in this, and it confuses them.
Yeah, like when you want a solid dollar back or something like that.
I had a situation through a drive-through like that where I gave them the change and stuff like that, and then they started giving me all these ones back and this change. I said, why do you think I gave you that? I didn't want all this change.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah, same.
I'll tell you what, we'll have round 2 of tidbits here in just a moment. Let's pause and hear a word from some of our sponsors so that we can have some more fun. How about that, Aaron?
All right, sounds good.
Right back.
Hi, I'm Helena Chase Birdwell. I was raised right here in Barron County, and generations of my roots grow deep here. I have spent my career serving people in local, state, and federal government offices, and I want to continue that by serving you, the people of Barron County, as your next Barron County clerk. If elected, I will bring fresh ideas to the office while continuing the excellent work the office already does. On November 6th, I need your support. Vote Helena Chase Birdwell for Barron County Clerk.
Why the name Fire Pit Spirits? Because your beverage of choice is meant to be enjoyed with good friends, celebrating life, happiness, or just the end of a hard week of work. And, as always, it's meant to be consumed responsibly. So, whatever you're celebrating, gather around your fire pit, because good times are made with the ones you choose to keep in your circle. Fire Pit Spirits. Best selection, best service, best friends.
Glasgow.
Modern Woodmen of America.
Now, Sherry Jones, we've called you in for a final assessment. It comes to our attention in the national media that the integrity of elections have been called into question as of late. As Barron County Clerk, you'll be overseeing the county's election process. How do you uphold integrity in that aspect?
I've been hired by both Democrats and Republicans in fiscal court. Politics has nothing to do with providing accurate, accessible records in a timely manner. Integrity has always been something I pride myself on.
Okay, thanks, Sherry. We'll let you know something on November 6th.
I'm Sherry Jones, and I'm asking you to hire me on Election Day as your next Barron County Clerk. I'll continue to work for you, the citizens of Barron County. Paid for by me, Sherry Phillips Jones.
Facebook Live feed, Kevin Riley and Donnie Runyon watching. Dale Copa says good morning to everybody. Michael Hale's watching. Mark Woodcock says, I've enjoyed listening on the road this morning. Lots of good memories along with your stories, Bruce. And Ellen Bell says, good morning. Love the guest host this morning and love the guest host show format in general. Thank you, Ellen. We may try to keep that going a little bit. Linda Lou is listening as we talk about the late Randall Cook and Tanya Moore. And, of course, your daughter Emily just got back on. So let's talk a little more tidbit news here. Excuse. All right. Staff at a hot dog diner in North Carolina have some extra cash to play with this month thanks to a $10,000 tip from a generous YouTube star.
Wow.
That is nice.
Back before you could be a star, being a DJ or being a sportscaster, or nowadays, kids want to grow up and be YouTube celebrities.
But if it's recent there in North Carolina, the problems they've had with the hurricane and stuff, I'm sure that was very much appreciated.
Oh, absolutely. This Good Samaritan goes by the name Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast.
It's an odd name for somebody who does a lot of nice things, but he has almost 9 million subscribers. That's crazy. He left the neatly stacked pile of dollar bills on his table at Sup Dogs. That's the name of the hot dog joint. Sup Dogs.
Sup Dogs.
Sup Dogs in Greenville after ordering just 2 waters. 2 waters. Talk about making change on that one.
Yeah.
So he took a few sips of his drink as he perused the menu and decided against buying anything else, leaving a huge chunk of change. And the restaurant owner, Brett Oliverio, told the local TV station there in Greenville, WNCT, that the waitress kept most of the money and that the rest would be split among all of the staff. She said, I've seen some really big tips, but not $10,000. Good people are still doing good things these days, so I thought it was pretty cool. This was out of the blue, once in a lifetime. It'll never happen again. If it does, give me some of that mojo.
Yeah.
Well, just think, if you could win Mega Millions this time, you could leave tips like that, Wes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's what it's
everybody's thinking that one.
One other quick story here. This is a cool way to get married if you were this kind of couple. You think about the pomp and circumstance of the white dress and everything. But a pair of runners in Detroit ran the Detroit Marathon. They stopped at the halfway point for a quick wedding ceremony before the race.
Yeah, I saw that.
They stopped at the 13.1 mile marker, which is half marathon. And they kept the ceremony short so their muscles wouldn't get cold before finishing the race.
Nice.
The race was Black's first marathon and Philip's 14th marathon. So not only did Whitney run her first marathon, but we got married, so maybe she'll run another one. How about that for a cool way to she wore a veil in her running clothes.
Yeah.
That's kind of like my wife when she ran the half marathon at Disney World this past February. She had her running clothes on, but then she had like a Snow White costume. That's what you do. You dress up like a princess, and so she was Snow White. And we're going to do that again coming up in February again. I'm going to do the 5K.
Oh, wow.
5K?
Yeah. I'll see if I can squeeze that out.
You left one statistical tidbit news story out, though.
Okay.
I heard it on the way in this morning when you were talking about the exploding toilets. I wonder how many people that... Did you hear that on the news this morning?
Bruce, we're going to have to talk about that in a minute. We're going to talk about... We've got to hit up the top of the hour. We'll come back here in just a moment here on Good Morning Live. Stay tuned.
News Bulletin. No fake news.
This is Jeff at Goodman Chevrolet announcing our closeout sale on all 2018 Silverado Crew Cab 1500 at prices that will save you thousands. In fact, get up to $11,000 total value savings when financing through GM Financial. And with more than 20 new trucks in stock or on the way, you're sure to find the model and color you've been waiting for. So don't wait any longer. Now till the end of the month, buy a new 2018 Silverado Crew Cab 1500 at GM